Hello, everyone. My name is Tabla Rosa, aka La Roza Negra, or Black Rose if you're nasty, and welcome to the episode that I am most enjoying because I get to scream at people. Welcome to my Roze Garden. Now, as you see here, I'm featured with a very wild face. Roar. Be very afraid. Be very afraid of me. With me today, I have. Would you like to introduce yourself, or should I?
My name's Josh, aka Josh the podcaster. I'm kidding. That's so corny.
I mean,
What's
if
up?
that's who you are.
Listen. It's a whole vibe. It's a whole vibe.
So the title of today's episode is Sustainable Flora. The importance of non-binary characters. To that extent, I want to start this out with a PS motherfucking A. I should not have to finger point at characters that do not identify as non-binary to try and self-identify, because when I do that, I'm now met with turmoil from other people, and you're setting me up for failure.
Felt that.
Nah, because everyone wants to fight you, and you're like, that's queer. And we still do that with my best friend to this day. We'll go, they're giving me queer.
It's like I know a couple people that look just like you, and they all little.
Is that a septum ring? Automatically.
Clocked it every time, every single time.
He's wearing a crop top. Inconclusive.
Might be a little sus, but who knows?
I got a follow-up one, but I'm gonna wait for you to go.
Yes. P.S. motherfucking A. A bald head and Doc Martens is not the non-binary uniform. I said what I said. Because I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. I am sick.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. Follow-up to that, in the same breath, nail polish does not make you queer. Not necessarily. There's
Say it one more time.
Nail polish does not make you queer. You're not spicy because you decided to paint your nails, Chad.
Not spicy.
No, I'm so sorry, sir. There's more to it.
Listen. That part. And plus, on top of that, if it's not even done well, you couldn't pay the extra money to have someone professional do it?
It's chipping and it's not cute.
On top of the fact that once it chips, your fingernails are dirty. So you didn't wash your hands. Tell me I'm lying.
You're not lying. That's the problem. That's the problem completely. The fact that you're not lying, because
exactly.
And then but that's not my problem here nor there, because I don't deal with straight men. Gotta help those who do.
We throw a few up for them because they need the help.
Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god! I didn't even actually ask. How are you doing today? How are we doing?
I mean, listen. I got a therapy appointment before this, so like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling right. It's gonna last exactly 3 business days before we go back down that depression hole, but we're gonna roll with it.
What if we aimed for 3 to 5? That professional.
It's really funny you say that, because my therapist was saying, we're gonna try this week affirmations and all that shit. So I'm like, all right, we'll see what we can do. But I'm not holding my breath, so we won't let it run for the 3 business days.
Do you believe?
Yeah, that's a trick question.
Press X for doubt.
I'm not saying, but I'm just saying.
Okay, so we're gonna start this out talking about characters that weren't exactly non-binary growing up, that were hailed for us as non-binary icons. Who is your queer mirror? The character that if you had to say, I'm stepping into this role and I would get all of the gender euphoria I would need.
All right, this is going to be like mad corny. Bert from Sesame Street.
I wouldn't have got corny from that. Listen. That threw me for a
There
loop.
is something. There's something about the way, like, okay, there's a lot of like queer coding in like Bert and Ernie's relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
However,
I agree.
the one thing that I always found really interesting about Bert is how he was always cool with everything, but he had an attitude with it. Like, I'm gonna let this slide, but I'm gonna cuss you out later. I'm gonna let it slide, I promise you. But I'm on that ass when this is done.
No, I get it because I appreciated Bert. Bert was the silent sassy, so like he never
Exactly.
said anything. It was just always a look, and it was just like, for real, this what we doing? All right. So, ideally, she's a woman and she was a feminist icon in the 90s, so all of the white women are going to come from my neck. However, comma, Faith Lahane from Buffy.
I'm with it. I'm with it because you know what? Like, now you really kind of think about it, like how her character was put together. Like, it was so stereotypical, but not stereotypical at the same time. Because, like, how many different characters do we see out there that were that type of character, but that just stayed behind the line?
Technically, there were so many of them that just they told the line, and then even like watching Buffy got close to the line, but then it was always like, oh, that's too much.
Nope.
She's meant to be the bad girl, the example of what not to be, the femme fatale almost, and it was like no, because it was watching her be apologetic. Right.
The way she was right more times than not. Like, from a characterization perspective, like, a lot of times people will look at Faith and be like, like you said, like, that's like the wrong way to do it. You know, the lawful evil kind of concept. But it's like, actually, if we really get down to it, that shit was valid. Faith was definitely right more times than not. Like, 100%. Right, like very, very much right.
She was wrong in execution, but she was 100% right about what she was talking about. I'm like, not like that.
A little off, but she looked a little off. But you know, it's the thought that counts. So we gonna roll with her.
It's like doing the math problem. She got -6. The number was 6, but you know, maybe the negative wasn't supposed to be there.
Right, she's right. She on the right track. She a little lost. She's a little confused right now, but she on the right track. And she getting there.
Ironically enough, I find it very troublesome for myself that Joss Whedon, as a writer, gave me a non-binary character, considering who Joss Whedon is. Right?
Considering, is there a list? Because there's a whole list.
There's actually, I was gonna say a second follow-up from the same series. What's his name? What's his name? Ethan Rain. The evil wizard that turned everyone into...
Okay. That actually makes a lot of sense.
I feel like I'm just saying non-binary is chaotic energy, and I don't know that I agree with that now in hindsight.
Listen. We're here to like fuck shit up on the reg. So if it fits, it fits.
If it fits, it ships, and I'm with
That's it. Come on, FedEx.
All right. Now, actual non-binary character. I'm gonna cheat a little. Stevani? I don't know how we actually pronounce it. I've seen Steven Universe, but it was my go-to-sleep show, so it wasn't really, like, I was paying attention to it halfway.
So it's giving, I'm a fake fan.
You're not wrong.
I mean, listen.
I wouldn't say fake fan.
You know how much about Steven Universe I know about? It's from Tumblr. I ain't never watched a whole episode my whole life. I ain't never watched a whole episode.
What? Okay. I won't hold it against you, but like, it's okay. At least watch Steven Universe, Steven Future the musical. It's worth it. It's worth it.
All right, I'm gonna try it, but they have exactly 30 minutes to get me hooked in. If it don't last 30 minutes, I'm cutting that shit off. It's done.
Okay, hold on. In that case, if you need 30 minutes, that means I gotta make sure I send you the perfect episode. You got
Hulu. Listen. Tell me the exact episode. Don't give me no episode 1 bullshit. I need like episode 6, season 2.
Okay,
that's what I need. I need that middle of the road where you're like, oh, now I want some backstory on this. Let me watch episode 1.
I'm gonna flip this and we'll go to the other side of it because I feel like if you've not seen one, you traditionally have seen the other. Adventure Time.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Princess Cookie.
Absolutely.
Princess Cookie.
Absolutely. Also Finn. Because Finn was not with the shits, right?
Talk
Like
to
he was
me.
like, listen, I'm gonna do what I want, right? Which is like how I kind of roll. Was like the thought process behind like all this bullshit that we're like told you have to do, and you have to do it this way, and boys do this and girls do this. Like Finn was like, I feel like being crazy today, so I'm gonna be crazy today because
True.
I can. I run this, so I'm gonna be crazy today.
I feel like I want to say Marceline, but specifically in the window of non-binary doesn't have to give gender neutral, because I feel like she still exuded femininity.
For sure, for sure. Which is like it's something a lot of people really get kind of like cross when they
Convoluted.
think through the thought process because they're like, oh, but you don't look in between. The fuck?
So
What do you mean in between? Exactly. Like who are we talking about? Because in the right environment, I am in between. I am absolutely in the middle. Not too much of this, not less of this. I am in the middle. But you put me in that box over there. So that sounds like a you problem. That's not a
And
me
then
problem.
for me, on my end, it's just my goal in life is never to look male or female. I just want to look batshit. Like, don't perceive me. I'm
That's it.
insane. Go away.
Exactly. Actually, you got to pay me to look at me.
I mean,
Pay me first, and then you can look at me.
let me drop this hair real quick.
Pay me. Pay me.
You see the material.
Exactly.
Put it in my hand.
Look, that's it. That's it. That's
What
it.
did T.S. Madison do? Just
You know what time it is. You know what time it is. You see this?
ain't no words. Pay me.
Stop doing this. Run me my money. Run me my money.
Who for you would be a modern day actual non-binary character?
Honestly, I feel like a lot of non-binary characters seem to be like so
Whitewashed?
whitewashed, white lens. Like so like going back to my point earlier, where it's like the whole like a bald head and Doc Martens. I am so sick of seeing
Or
the
a white twink in a mesh
cliche.
top?
Exactly. Like I don't care. I don't care about that. I care about the regular ass person that's like, I'm just me. That's it. I'm not trying to necessarily stand out. I'm not trying to do quote too much. I'm really just trying to exist out here. That's it. That's
That's
it. And I acknowledge that I'm just trying to exist and that I may still fit that box, and that's okay. But I'm still just trying to exist.
Do you have a character that actually represents that for you?
Honestly, I feel like there's so many mixes of characters because like when
Talk to
you
me.
look at different things like video game characters, for example. So like a character that for me fits like a combination of like I'm just doing what I want to do, even though you may fit certain boxes. Aloy from Horizon, because that character is so stereotypical and yet not stereotypical at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm standing out, I'm doing my thing because I'm me, and that's it. And every person I come across expects me to not be this thing or that I have to be this thing, but I'm still doing my thing. And that like resonates with me on like such a whole other level because like at the end of the day, like we really all deserve like that choice. What do you want to do today?
That,
Not what does someone else
that's
tell
too
you.
many
What do you
options.
want to do
That's too many
today?
options. Hold on.
Like, okay, well, shit, I gotta, shit. I mean, I would like to eat, but I also want to sleep, and I can't eat and sleep at the same time. So, shit, now I gotta choose which one to do first.
Well, I'm gonna look at my phone. Is usually the first thing that goes through my mind. I'm gonna look at
That
my
part.
phone.
What these
I'll
notifications
text you
looking like?
later. I'll text you later immediately because I'm like, I'm
Do I
not
have
fucking
capacity
social.
for this right now?
Right.
Do I? Let me think through this real quick. And then by the time I think about it, it'll be the end of the day, and I'll be like, oh shit, I haven't texted them back yet.
It's so terrible. I'm thinking about grabbing my phone right now. I'm like, did I send that text message? No, I'm at work. Shut up.
I
Don't
thought
worry
about
about
it. I definitely thought about it. I ran through the text message in my head, but I did not hit send.
Or the worst part, I'll type up a full message, see the bubbles and everything, or if it's on Snapchat, I'll be like, this person is typing. Never hit send.
Nope.
It's just
I'm
sitting
waiting
there.
for you to send your piece first.
It's not even waiting for you to send your piece first. It'll just be sitting there because I drafted a whole message and then maybe a different notification or I got a direct message somewhere else.
That is a whole level of evil. Because I swear to God, if anybody ever did that shit to me, what were you trying to say? What's going on?
You're about,
What kind of evil ass news are you about to drop on me? Because my whole day is paused at that point.
you're
I'm
about
not
to be
doing shit
very
else except
upset
staring at my
then.
phone like. So they still ain't responded yet. They still ain't responded. And I'm not gonna ask you, of course, because anxiety. But I'm gonna sit there and be pissed off and sad about it the whole day.
I'm kind of glad you actually broke your rule then, because you asking me reminded me that I started drafting the email in the first place, because I totally forgot. It was just sitting in the drafts folder. I'm like,
I had to remind you. That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame. But look at where we are now.
we're
So I'm
here.
gonna let it slide. I'm
We're
gonna let it
here.
slide this time. But you ever do that shit again? You ever do that shit again? We're gonna have to fight.
I mean, we'll talk about that off air. um, what was I about to say? Aside from, okay, Eloy. Ooh, I'm feeling messy. Give me a non-binary character that you feel was done entirely wrong.
Okay. That bald-headed character in.
What is it with you and bald people?
Listen, listen. Because here's the thing. Because they're always white, and they have this same look, and it's always well they're not a girl or a boy, but they look like a boy, but they look like a girl. I don't. How is that even relevant? How is that even like rational to the conversation? Because again, it's hella reductive. Because now you're reducing everybody to you need to look a certain way, which also incorporates a whole other aspect of like passing, which is it opens up with a whole other like dichotomy of what it means to just exist as a person and be able to exist based on what you choose to share with people, right? Like I don't give a shit what you think my name is. When I tell you my name is Josh, nothing else better come out of that mouth. I don't care if you think I look like a Chad. My name is Josh. That's it. That's it.
I don't know that people would have a problem perceiving you as Josh per se. It was more so, at least in my experience, it's always been people going, my name is, or like someone will say, my name's Ace. They're like, what's it short for? Ace.
It's just that.
Or like for me, I'll tell people, I'm like, my name is Cammy. And they're like, oh, is it short for like Camila? I'm like, no. Is it short for Cameron? No. It's just Cammy.
What did I just say?
Exactly.
What did I just say? Because it sounds like your ears ain't working. Let me try this again real quick.
You would fail at
charades.
My
My name is one word, 2 syllables. That's all you need. That's all you need to worry about. That's it. But people swear up and down that they know better. I'm sorry. Are you living this life? Are you paying these bills over here? Because I don't see your name on any of this.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, my name is.
I feel like a hypocrite because my person's actually a bald character too.
Oh Lord.
The little girl from Deadpool 2.
Oh yeah. I agree with that.
Okay, in theory, I get that they were supposed to be non-binary. It just felt like they gave us an angsty white teenager and shaved her head.
And some Doc Martens. Your Honor.
Doc Marten will never sponsor me after this.
The case rests.
Doc Marten will never sponsor me after this.
I'm so sorry.
I'm making my peace
so sorry.
with it. It's okay. You know what? Let me speak directly to the Doc Martens. I just want to say I am in no affiliation.
So if you ever feel the compelled,
I love the boots, especially the high top waterproof ones. If you want to just send me a pair.
Nudge, nudge. Please and thank you.
Okay, a lot of these came from, I should have probably clarified. I didn't necessarily need to, but just so everyone knows, this came from the pick and pedal section. Right now, we're gonna plug new roots. For those who are unfamiliar with that specific aspect, it's where we go through 5 different songs, and ideally pertaining to this conversation, it would give us songs that are important to gender euphoria as a non-binary individual.
All right. So thinking through like song concepts. So like I'm really big on like vibes, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's not always about like the exact lyrics. Like sometimes it's just like what the lyrics tend to like convey like abstractly, right? So like sometimes they paint a picture. Like the song could be about breakups, but I don't hear breakups when I listen to that song. You know what I mean? Like it's like something else. So a lot of the songs I picked were just based on like there were concepts written in the song that were like this is it. Like this is speaking to exactly like how I feel as a person, like
What
what
I'm
I like
looking
to
for.
do. Exactly. So my first one, drum roll please, bum, 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 is "Sexy Villain" by Remy Wolf.
You know, I'm gonna have to give that a listen after this because I like the title already. You had me at sexy.
Listen, this one specific two lines. Sexy villain, not the hero. I'm the West Coast Bob De Niro. Sexy villain, super emo, aqua girl with the rising Leo.
Hold on. Aqua Leo Rising. I feel like step on me immediately. Hold on.
Respectfully. Please and
Disrespectfully.
thank you.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Top shelf.
Hey.
Lace them up.
Hey. Hey. Stomp me the fuck out. Please.
um. So for me, the gender euphoria typically registers sonically. So, the first song in mind for me is gonna be "Come Into My Head" by Kimbra. Because I really enjoy that switch up every time it goes from the verse to the actual chorus, and then
Yes.
especially the modulation at the end.
Hell yes. I feel that. I feel that. I feel that 100%. That, Kimber actually is a whole collection.
Yes,
Like the catalog. Listen, if you're not on that, get on that. Get
immediately.
on that
But can we talk about
expeditiously.
Magnus Opus or Magnum Opus? Excuse me, words are hard. Magnum Opus was Vows.
I feel that.
Vows is the one that gave us Sally, I Can See You, Settle Down, Posse.
Posse.
Just
Posse. Posse. Yes.
I'm saying.
Yes.
It was so. Before we get stuck here, because I can go on, because I can go
Listen,
on.
on and then some. On and then some. All right. My next one.
Mm-hmm.
And this is kind of corny, but it makes so much sense.
Do it.
Stand Out by Tevin Campbell.
From a Goofy movie.
Yes.
I can't.
You know it.
I can't
You know
even
the
be
vibes.
mad to you. I can't even be
You
mad.
know the vibes. You know the
Because
vibes.
he really ate that.
Listen, the song title itself should tell you enough. It should honestly tell you enough.
Stand out above the crowd. Yes.
Now you gotta do the choreography. You gotta do the whole choreography.
Oh no,
Listen,
no.
that was a whole game changer when I was a kid. Like, I was like, oh my God, this cartoon is like dope.
We're gonna have to
Like it's
see now. Now I'm expecting of all the content for you to get a power line outfit. We need it. We need it for the timeline.
do it for the gram.
Absolutely.
Got to.
The people deserve to see it.
Do they though? Do they
No, but
deserve
you want to. No, but
That part. I'm gonna try to play out like I don't. I want to. I want it.
the idea was incepted. You're like, I could totally do that.
I could totally do that. I could pull that off. I could definitely pull that off. I probably could.
Also, brief sidebar. Make sure you invest in a dancer's belt because I remember the whole conversation you had about people perceiving you too much about what you're talking about and not talking about with regards to what you're wearing. Remember, it would be a spandex suit.
Yes.
Get a dancer's belt.
Definitely. Yep. That's for sure.
I'm glad you. We're right here.
Yeah, totally. Absolutely. For sure. Definitely.
Second song for me. It's my turn to be corny. I was actually gonna go from a musical, but I don't know which version I want though. You know what? I'm gonna go classic. Tim Burton's version of Sweet Transvestite. From the Rocky Horror Picture Show? Yeah.
Okay. That's makes sense. A lot of people would take that the wrong way though.
I know. And that's why I'm not most people, and they can eat their hearts out. It's my
That
song
part.
and not yours. And if you have a problem with it, cope.
If you got a problem with it, that sounds like a you problem, not a me problem.
Precisely on the money. For number 3, do you want to spearhead it or should I go?
Let me start with mine because mine's going to sound a little weird, but it makes sense. So my number 3 is going to be Earthboy by Tony 22.
Okay.
Listen, the
What
whole
was weird about
concept
that?
makes sense. Like, obviously, very, very gendered. However, all of the thought processes in this song, like reconsidering like your place on this earth, your place in this universe, like that for me speaks everything on my whole existence because I definitely was questioning some of this shit when I was a kid, right? Like, do I really have to do this because boys do this? What if I just wanted to do it because I like it? Is that valid? Is that normal? It
That's
is, but what do you do?
Mine's not gonna make sense until I finish explaining it. For me, my third one's gonna be Stupid Girl by Jasmine Sullivan. A lot of people don't. It actually did a lot of, especially with my own gender journey, it did a lot of determining not only what non binary looked like for me because I'm very femme presenting, but also what self respect in regards to how people treat me in my non binary looks like. Because it was always, especially considering, because full transparency, I don't know if I've actually disclosed this, it's not a secret, but alas, I am an AMAB trans non-binary person, but I present and actually appear and am perceived very feminine. So it was growing up, boys' bathroom, you don't belong in here.
Right. Even though it's a fucking bathroom.
Like,
Like every fucking person has to go to the fucking bathroom.
that wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was like everyone in my school had seen Naruto and consistently had conversations and jokes about Haku. Haku in real life, and you're having an actual stroke about not just existence.
The way I was so confused back then because I was like, wait a minute, but I thought that was, but it wasn't. What like that? And the thing that's so funny is like the way that like Japanese culture collectively tends to kind of blur the lines with expression, and people eat that shit up, but they see that shit in real life, and all of a sudden, lost. But you don't fit this box. You don't look the way I think you should look. So I have a problem with that. But I'm gonna go watch this cartoon, and I'm gonna totally understand it, and I'm gonna respect it, and I'm gonna hear them talk the way they talk and dress the way they dress, and still be like, I love that character. But I can't look at this person and do the same thing for them.
I'm glad
Make that make sense.
I'm glad you explained it like that. More specifically, because in the chorus of the song, she opens with "Boys have toys too." We know they do. They call us stupid girls, and it was always being perceived as a girl and actually being treated, not only perceived, but being treated like a girl in a boy space and with boy expectations. And I'm just supposed to sit there and take it because boys don't cry, machismo, all these different things. But then consistently also having this both Christian mindset, and then on top of the Christian mindset, this also this pure heart and being neurodivergent, so not knowing how to process all of this. I'm sitting here
Why
going,
am I so sad? Why am I so mad? Why feelings?
but
I
I'm not
feel
mad
these
at
things, but I
you.
feel them.
I feel all these feelings, but like they're not a bad person, and that's just the voice I kept telling myself in my head. They're not a bad person. You gotta let that go because now you are kind of being stupid.
Part. That part. Doing yourself a disservice at the point. Honestly, like, and that's the thing that's so crazy. Like when you think through like the concepts of like growth, the amount of times I've literally sat back and realized, like, you know what? If I would have said, "This is me," 10 years ago, and just did that rather than let someone else dictate who I am, fam, where would I be? Like how differently would my life be if I would have been able to do that?
That's actually a hard question because in reflecting, you have to go so many instances back.
Every
and
single what if.
Every time you think of one instance, it takes you. You're like, wait, but there was something before that. But there was something before that.
Listen. The amount of okay. Well, what if I didn't date that person and would have said, who knows? Who knows?
I
do know this now. That's it. I know this now.
The fact that everything, everywhere, all at once came out, I'm just sitting here like, I've been doing this for years, except I don't know what the other outlines look like or outcomes.
The way I contemplate it for like 2.5 seconds, if I could verse jump, I'm like, okay, what if I just accidentally stub my toe? What if? What if? Because again, hypothetically speaking, multiverse theory, there's another me out there doing some different shit. Probably some weird shit. I don't want that. I don't want that version of me. But there's probably a me killing it out there. I want to meet that version of me.
I maintain on a whole level, there is a version of me that's a Jehovah's Witness or a Mormon.
All the way in it. Like fully in it. As in, I'm out there spreading the word, and I believe that shit wholeheartedly. And then, absolutely.
What's the whole thing that was trending not too long ago where there were like the Mormon people on the back of a truck and they had their friend jumping?
Listen, the way I saw that, and I was like, this can't be real. There is no way. There's no way. There's no way. There is no way. But you know what's so funny is like that type of shit. Like people live in like their bubble, and the way you believe shit wholeheartedly because you've literally been told either nothing else and you've never questioned it. I would love to live that life. Ignorance is bliss because I know too much and I hate it.
I envy so many people, and it's not even just, it's ignorance in all sides, because there's not just one form of ignorance that's like, you can live in that ignorance, I can leave you there. At any moment, good or bad, the moment you learn something more, you can't go backwards, you can't unlearn it, and you're forced to have to learn more now, because there's always going to be more questions.
That whole part. This is why I'm in therapy. I know too much. I know too many things. And it's the worst. Knowledge is not power. Knowledge is pain. And I don't like it.
No. I disagree. Knowledge is very powerful, but the problem with power is the responsibility is painful. The whole Uncle Ben speech, with great power comes great responsibility.
Great responsibility, because goddamn, if it's not one thing, it's another where I'm like, I know that this is wrong, or I know I should be doing this. So if I want to be a good person, or at least a decent person, I have to address it, whether it be speaking on it, acting out, doing whatever you got to do. And that shit's exhausting. It's hella exhausting.
Which leads me to song number 4. I'll go first for this one because it's a perfect segue. Down by Chloe and Halle.
Ooh.
All this way too much for me.
That's
in a line.
That whole part. That whole part, because I'm sorry. You're speaking on my life right now. Because yes, it is.
Can we all take it down?
Please. All of it. Please. I am begging. Pleading.
And it's like, they never gave us a music video for the song, but every time I hear it in my head, I'm just imagining them going, slow, just a huge lever, just pulling it down.
Just bring it on. Just bring it on. Bring it on down.
Absolutely.
Bring it on down. Just bring it on down, because please, I am begging.
I got a little mad because midway through I got distracted from the conversation, started going, bring it around town.
Bring it around town.
Fucking SpongeBob.
Listen.
Arguably.
An icon. A
non-binary
icon. Non-binary icon. Icon. We stand.
But on the opposite side of it, I was going to say Sandy Cheeks. No, I feel like she'd be more genderqueer because she existed in her femininity very wholeheartedly, but then also hung with and was completely one of the boys.
That part.
I can appreciate it, but no. SpongeBob. Oh, Patrick was. That's why they were best friends. Because remember, there's Patrick and Patricia.
You know what? I forgot about Patricia.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right, though.
Patricia was a bad bitch.
That part. And she knew she was, too.
That crop
She knew
top
she
and
was.
pigtails. I'm going to say it.
Eat it up.
I'm going to say it and
Eat
everybody
up.
about to cancel me. And that's going to be what it is. Dejanay could never.
Oh.
I said it. There's no going back. I said it.
I'm not saying you're wrong. You're not wrong, because you're not wrong.
But
why would you say that out loud? Why would you say that out loud?
Because I don't value my safety.
They're gonna drag you.
No, really though. Especially considering
All the way.
we've got new Proud Family fans and old ones because Louder and Prouder just came.
You know how Gen Z is. They be coming for everybody's necks. So I am sorry in advance.
On the upside, you can't dox me because I live in the middle of the hood. So if white people try to come out here, they're gonna be in for a poor awakening.
Listen, that whole part, like, people be really weird with that shit. Where it's like, first off, if you really try to run up on me, I'm gonna need you to really understand that you need to own a little piece of steel, because first off, shit ain't sweet over here. So try me if you want to.
I never encourage people to try me because I like unconventional weapons. Have you ever been lit on fire before?
Not the blood scorch. Just not the blood scorch. Like,
they're like, oh my god, they got a gun.
How hot do you like it, bitch? How hot do you like it?
A fire gun.
Like,
and even when I miss, I still hit because you're wearing
that
clothes.
That part.
Unless you're wearing
that
plastic,
part, and I'm gonna watch your ass
melt.
burn too. Like, that is so sad. You want some water?
And then
that hurt.
The moment I became and made peace with the pyromaniac in me was the moment I understood the phrase, I wouldn't piss on you if it were burning. I wouldn't, because there's certain people that just deserve to burn.
Mood AF.
But talk to me. What's going to be song number 4 for you?
All right, number 4. Number 4 is going to be Woke Up by Jordan Adetunji. And specifically because every aspect of this song is at awakening. Like, that moment when I realized, like, wholeheartedly, I was like, you know what? I am not a man, and it's not that I don't want to be a woman, but I don't ascribe to any of that at all. Like, I just want to be me. Was fucking life-changing. It was so life-changing.
The flavor right now. the way you spit in.
Listen. You're telling me that I can exist in this world and just be me? That's an option? That's a real option?
It really is.
Because the way people will have you believe in that, like, you have to be in the box. It's not even a matter of like, oh, I can like just stick a toe in the box. Like, you have to be in the box. The fuck? Huh? Says who? 8 billion people on this planet. You're telling me I have to act like everybody else? Huh?
It's not even that you have to. It's quite literally impossible because no one fits in the box. No one checks all the boxes, which is why we've got. Brief segue, because we got to have a conversation while we're here.
Do it.
The whole issue and reason why I had to actually isolate from gender binaries was because if I tried to actually fit in the boxes of what was expected of a boy, I already had anger issues. I was going to become violent to everyone else.
Heavy on that. Because, listen, something I tell myself on the reg is like how angry every man in my life was. For no fucking reason. For no reason. They had no reason to be angry. But the littlest thing. Or
what would trigger them to feel like their manhood was being challenged. It was always the most arbitrary.
How dare you say that? What? over a color of a t-shirt? You worried about who you are as a person because someone commented on the color of your t-shirt?
Somebody offered you wine because they were drinking wine, and I'm a man. I only drink whiskey.
You didn't want to order a Cosmo because somebody was going to make what? Huh? Make it make sense.
To that extent, some people argue that that may be a experience unique to POCs because we weren't given the luxury to explore that range of masculinity and femininity.
Heavy on that. And see, this is honestly kind of my frustration with just like the concept of like queerness in general. I never understood queerness outside of a white lens until like my late 20s, because every single person who was given a platform to be queer was white, and they had to exist as white in this very specific lens of whiteness where you're just a little bit quirky. Right. You're just a little bit different.
Strangely enough,
and that's what queerness is.
Strangely enough, you mentioned PBS content growing up. I always thought Mr. Rogers was queer. I really did, because the soft-spoken, gentle white man that meant me no harm,
and genuinely wanted good things for everybody.
Right.
Genuinely, that like watching that TV show, it felt like a blanket.
It felt like a blanket.
It felt like the softest hoodie. It felt like the perfect cuddles. It felt like someone telling you, good job just for being you.
It also made me problematic on the opposite side of the spectrum, because it was like, I got this weird Richard Nixon voice in the back of my head, and then especially you can hear it if you ever played Call of Duty Zombies, the first one.
Yes.
Anytime he started talking about hippies, yes. I don't know why, but in my brain, the whole concept initially that I had to work through as well was like the need to be peace and love. Because I'm like, I'm not a peace and love bitch, so I can't be non-binary. Nah, you can still be non-binary and fuck shit up, but like
you can do both.
Right.
You can do both.
But also, you don't have to. It's okay to be a peace and love person, and they aren't less or more because like. You're not invalid and they're not invalid because they chose peace and you didn't.
That part, like uniqueness, like the concept of like being human, right? Like people feel things. Sometimes I be mad as shit and I want to fight, and that's normal. And other times I'm happy and I love people and I want everyone to experience that happiness and that love. But there cannot be this absolute where you can only be this thing in order to be accepted or to be acknowledged. And that's so fucked up. And the problem is, especially if you're POC in general, is that people tend to put you in this box of queerness where if you just step outside of it, we don't like you.
Too much.
We don't want to be friends with you. Why do you have to make everything about, hi, hello, this is my whole life.
I'm quite literally sitting in front of you. Finish that sentence.
Literally.
About what?
Exactly.
About what?
Exactly. What exactly do you about my existence, my race, that everybody else?
I'm sorry. Let me just unzip my skin and leave it at the door.
Real quick. Let me put on a filter. Let me put on a Snapchat filter real quick and just show everyone through my camera. Hi, this is me. Don't look at this. Look at my phone real quick, and then treat me with respect.
Every time someone says, why do you have to make it about race? I imagine like the reverse version of like the Can You Feel the Brand New Day scene from Family Guy where they're taking off their white skin. I'm like, let me hold on. Let me get dressed.
Raise it back up real quick. They put it back on. My bad. I'm so sorry. I thought I could take a break. My bad.
Thought this was
and then what's
safe.
even more fucked up about it is like when you truly like exist as yourself, like because fucking code switching be throwing white people for a whole loop. I am so sorry that you only get to experience me, let's say at work, between the hours of 8 and 5 p.m. and you hear me talk a certain way. If you catch me out in public, I talk like me. And if that is too much for you, I am so sorry.
I'm not.
Like, that part. Because both of those are still me. The Josh you got at work is still Josh. That's just Josh at work.
I'm so sorry.
Y'all about to fuck up my money.
Right. I've been lucky enough to not have people. That's a lie. Let me rephrase. I've been mostly lucky enough to not have, for the duration of my career, people trying to actually fault me and find issue with me because of my gender, my race, so on and so forth. If anyone had an issue with me, it was because of my energy. Because I'm very aggressive. I don't do passive aggression, and not only do I not do passive aggression, I will force you into aggression.
That part. If you want to go, we can go.
If
Because
you
I got time.
if you want
I
to be
got
passive
time and I got
aggressive,
the
I will call
space.
you
I got
out
the
with a
energy.
smile and then watch you get. You're like, no, I'm not upset. I'm just saying. Okay, so what are you saying? And I don't understand. Make it plain for me.
Please help me understand. Please.
Spell-
Just so I can make sure before I go off on you that I have a very, very good understanding of what exactly you meant.
Spell it out for me like I'm 5.
Please. Oh, okay, that's what you meant. Great.
Now let me tell
Great.
you why you're stupid.
And let's go.
All right. Okay. Song 5.
Song 5.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm split between
my
two
song
right now.
5 is by a non-binary person, and that's honestly why I added it to this list.
Mm-hmm.
It's "We'll Never Have Sex" by Leith Ross. They're a non-binary artist, and the whole concept of this song is like, how I interpret it is like love for yourself, love for people, regardless of what that relationship is going to be. Which honestly is something that I kind of continue to explore just with like myself, where it's like you can feel attractive and not feel attractive because you want to get somebody else. I can look attractive just for me. I can feel good just for me. I don't have to feel good because, oh, I need someone to give me a compliment or I need someone else to affirm that. I already affirm that for myself. And that's enough.
I feel like I just need. I feel like I need a tea mug, and I didn't get it. I didn't get it quick from
like-
uniform.
Like,
Just the sage. Just continue,
we
young
love to see it.
Padawan.
We love to see it. We love to see it.
For me, song 5 is gonna be, and I have to give a full explanation first before I explain the song. Actually, for this one, high school, when I came into, because I didn't actually have the language of what non-binary meant, I used to always refer to myself as a unicorn, specifically because I needed to escape humanity in order to actually feel as though I could survive. So when I made my sort of transition and like association with the language itself, I needed to affirm my humanity in and of myself. And I still grew up socialized femme, so it was Queen Bitch by Lil' Kim that actually, like, the full range of all the different things. But it was either gonna be that one or Big Mama Thing, but it was between the two of them. It was
Listen, I felt that. Listen, you know what's so crazy is like conceptually, and this is something like I'm guilty of in a general sense up until recently, where there is so much uniqueness to the concept of what femininity is, right? And female rap gets such a bad rap for it because men will put women in this box and say, well, because you only talk about these subjects, you're not unique enough. But will not hold men to that same standard who also only talk about certain things.
made a whole career.
But yet somehow, a whole career, multiple albums, spanning years, talking about the same topics. But God forbid, if a woman feels empowered in every aspect of what makes her amazing, well, I just don't understand why they always have to talk about.
Man, all these
I'm
bitches
sorry.
do is talk about scamming niggas out their money and popping pussy.
Popping pussy, shaking ass.
Right.
Like what? Like, I'm sorry. Every other song I've heard by y'all has been y'all drug dealing the same drugs out the same trap house and somehow not getting caught by cops. How many different songs did you hear about that?
Because
Heavy on that part.
We just
Listen, the DEA is catching people off rap
Atlanta
lyrics.
is cracking
Rap
down.
Rap lyrics. You telling me you just
You have been
fucking
forewarned.
that whole part. Listen, go ahead, spit that bar real quick. Hi, hello, this is the
Listen
FBI.
here, they're like, speak clearly into the microphone.
real quick. So I noticed your song was charting number 10 in the USA.
Congratulations.
We took a listen and we realized that
handcuffs.
actually, this seems to line up with a witness account that we had 20 years ago that says that you were here, and now we have a song to prove it. Hi, hello, Judge.
I feel like we could never get Cop Shot the Kid but from Dougie Fresh in this day and age. Because that
That
was
whole
an
part.
amazing story, but somebody actually got shot.
Somebody
The
actually got,
the
we know
description was
somebody actually
black.
got shot, but
Right.
it was just a song. It was just a song. We were just having fun.
Where were you the night of? Okay.
Because on verse 2 it says,
Right. And this feel a little...
seems a little specific. You mind giving us the play-by-play of what happened exactly then? Because it seems a little weird.
A little bit. Yeah, I had to actually give myself the license to be human, though. So it was the need for, not especially with rap, because it was women and strong femininity and pretty women. I say, like, not to say that there is an ugly woman, but when I say pretty woman, I mean aesthetically. Lil' Kim was a
Right.
very prissy, pretty woman. So it was like the idea of, like, for example, the which fuck, I can't think, which cover was that? Oh my god.
You know what, cover her squatting?
No. Which album was Aunt Dot?
Oh, see now I gotta look it up.
How many legs Aunt Dot? I can't think.
See now it's shit.
You see?
They about to drag us saying y'all don't know the right album. Listen.
See?
I'm sorry.
I think we're safe because in this day and age, everyone's about Nicki. The fact that we're even talking about Kim, there's just
the Nicki stands about to drag us for that shit. Like, see,
The Barb's gonna
that's
be
why
like,
she fell off. That's why Nicki is actually the. Oh, can y'all please shut up?
please.
Please stop. Please.
I'm Barb adjacent, and actually, to that extent, I don't know. I love Nicki's music. I don't feel as though I love Nicki because I don't know Nicki.
Well, honestly, the way she keep doing stuff that is not great and marrying people that are also not great is really hurting that brand. But
I need something to hide behind.
Forgive me for just speaking what is easily available on Google, because some of y'all barbs be ignoring the obvious. You know, it's giving very much like the same thing we've been going through with starts with an R and ends in Ellie.
Not Robert. Not Robert.
I'm not saying, but I'm just saying because
it's the same, but it's different. It's the same in regards to like the harm it's causing. It's different in who's actually perpetrating it because she's I want to say she's aiding and abetting because she's actually providing resources to these known
and
abusers.
not speaking on it
and also not holding herself accountable in the past, because as much as she may have severed ties with them, it's not like she's like, yo, okay, as much as, or is like, with respect to the fact that is her brother, because I'm not going to speak bad on her name. I get it.
Exactly. That's family. And
I'm
you know what,
right
honestly,
for
me, like the concept, like with like celebrities and things like that, with like PR and all those types of things, where it's like, in my opinion, I feel like it would be so much easier if she was just really proactive with activism. It wouldn't even matter if she addressed XYZ. Just be hella pro XYZ, so we know where you stand. Because at least we could figure out, like, hey, maybe there's some personal stuff going on that we don't know. Because I'm not one of those people that's going to sit there and be like, every celebrity has a perfect life. Nah, they're human just like us. But she definitely has the resources and the capacity to be very pro all of these things that we really need her to be as a prominent member of society and a visible person in society, that we could at least add an aspect of humanity to what she does, to say, you know what, to be honest, if I was in the same situation, I don't know if I could make that choice to just cut off whoever. I don't know if I could make that choice to just completely separate myself from XYZ. But I can at least know she stands for this. And that's the part that I have frustrations with.
To the same extent, it's also because like I said, I won't hold it against her, that's family, but also, what does the right answer actually look like in society would be that question. And that's a whole conversation for a different time, because that's a whole philosophical conversation that needs to happen. But I don't know that there's a right answer. I know this wasn't it. I can tell you that. And not only did she not do the right answer, I can excuse it the first time. But how many times are we going to watch you make the same answer? The same wrong answer
and
at that.
over again, and be called out on it, and still be like, "Nah, I'm gonna stand beside him." Are you sure? Like, you don't have to say it. You can just do it, but you don't have to say it to like double down on it. You could just keep that to yourself.
I always have like the social and like socially responsible person to me is always face front and brave and unabashed with these takes. But like also the aspiring artist in me, especially when I'm talking about celebrities and controversies of what's going on, is like, I think I'm about to shoot myself in the foot. I'm never gonna get this feature. Or alternately.
Because the way somebody will drag up, oh, so I found a special secret recording
Back
of
in the
them
day.
in 1994 in a bathroom speaking with their best friend as they were throwing up over a toilet that they don't like black people. What? How did y'all find that?
It's useful information, but where y'all get that?
That's not, like, it's horrible. It's awful. But how did y'all even find that?
I need the FBI to maybe start hiring people from Stan Twitter. Just think about it. Just think about it.
Heavy on that.
Maybe we have actual solved cases.
Maybe. Possibly. Potentially. Maybe.
FBI, look, FBI, I was just playing.
You're going to end up on the watch list. You're going to get regular knocks on your door every 6 months. Hi, hello. We just want to ask you a few questions.
Random people that I've never seen in a neighborhood before. Like, we're a pretty diverse neighborhood. Like, this whole courtyard, there's going to be an Asian family to randomly move in. I'm like, Asian people are cool. I don't have any problems with Asian people at all. But where did you come from? Because I didn't even know we had any availabilities. Who died? Who moved out? When did you get here?
Elaborate backstory. Oh, so we just came here because of blah, blah, blah.
We moved from San Francisco. He just retired. I'm pregnant. This is a whole story.
Real suspicious. You're looking real suspicious right now.
Looks at every person that comes into the new neighborhood. I'm just like,
who are you? Who are you?
No, truly.
Like, who are you? Where were you on the night of? What were you doing on January 6th?
Questions that need answers.
That desperately, absolutely, for sure need answers.
What were you tweeting January 7th?
That part. What were you liking?
Right.
On Twitter.
What were you liking? What were you reposting on Tumblr? Because people think Tumblr's a dead app. And technically it is in regards to
but people are still live on there.
Right.
And they think they could just say whatever, like, you do know that we
it's still the internet.
we still see all of this. It's not going away.
This is still absolutely the internet. And
absolutely.
And even if I'm not looking, somebody is.
Somebody else is looking. And Lord knows if they're doing that, they're going to pull up your live journal.
It only takes
from
one.
Way back in the day. Say, so why did you blog about that specifically? Why were you feeling so compelled to type this out?
That's why I trudge into conspiracy theory area. I feel like they be recording Facebook and Instagram lives too. They'd be like, so remember when you said this on this day?
Listen,
play the clip.
The way none of that shit is ever gone forever. Snapchat's not gone forever. Instagram DMs are not actually secretive. Like, somebody has to see all that.
The NSA gets in trouble a lot, or I won't say the NSA, but the NSA as a company, but more so the employees get in trouble consistently because there's always somebody that's looking at somebody's nudes, always somebody that's reading other people's conversations, breaching. Exactly. It wasn't necessary. They just decided to look at it. Why? You don't think that's a little, but okay.
You felt really compelled that day.
You were really doing your job. High five.
Yay, capitalism. We love to see it.
And speaking to that note, I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to go into our final section before we wrap things up. We're going to go into turning a new leaf. Josh, do you have any advice you would give based on this week's topic? It can be advice to your younger self. It can be advice to your future self. It can be advice to the audience. It can be advice for your parents.
Honestly, it is okay to be just like everybody else. That is fine. That is okay. You do not absolutely for sure have to be unique. It is okay to just do what is comfortable. That is fine.
I mean, old people used to say there's nothing new under the sun.
That part.
I'm not.
And the way I'm starting to realize that, like, maybe they were on something.
I'm not saying the boomers were right. I'm just
point.
saying sometimes they were spitting.
Sometimes. I'm like, I don't like it, but I'm gonna think on it for a minute.
A broken clock twice a day.
Why? Exactly.
What advice I'm gonna give? Don't worry about being mentally stable. Worry about being mentally okay.
Ooh. Hold on. Pause. Because repeat that one more time.
Don't worry about being mentally stable. Worry about being mentally okay. The world wants you to be stable because they can exploit you when you're stable. Do what makes you feel okay.
Heavy.
If you gotta shave your head,
we are all struggling.
Shave your head, Brittany. Shave it, because I get it. The hair is stressful, and it's the easiest thing to get rid of. Just shake the energy out. Shave your hair, but don't be reckless. I'm not gonna encourage recklessness because I know, with mental health issues, retail therapy is actually very detrimental because we tend to get impulsive and make really rash decisions with our money. But if you can afford to finagle a couple things and you've been thinking about that jacket or that, not even the jacket, if that boba will actually make your day, get the boba.
Right. It is, because honestly, at the end of the day, like, tomorrow is not promised. It's really not. And
people die
the way
every day,
I see it, I'm not trying to go, damn, but I didn't get to. Nah. We're going to live a little today. Just a little bit.
I'm really thinking about quitting. I'm just don't make me call my job. I'm gonna be like, hey, so
what did Beyonce say? What?
No.
Release the job.
First of all, that was Big Frida. Secondly, we don't listen to a billionaire about how to survive capitalism.
That part. Got a whole safety net. Like, wait a minute. Like,
absolutely
I
sign me if you feel the need to.
Job.
But like, I'm not giving up my job right now because that pocket change is getting me by. It's making sure I'm
heavy
okay.
Heavy on that. Like, you know what's so funny too is like that whole concept with like quitting and things like that. Oh, quit that job. I'm like, my job is actually not that bad. Like, I don't mind it. And also I have bills because things cost money.
No,
So
you know, I could quit the job, but then where am I gonna live after I quit? Because quitting lasts for a few minutes. Homelessness lasts for a while.
That part.
And I'm saying this as someone who was formerly homeless. I can't ear tuck with the headphones on. It's making me so mad.
I was like, what are you pushing back? What's
my ethereal wig? There's one on top of it. It's a wig reveal. You just don't see it.
The ghost wig.
Yes.
It's the ghost wig.
Let me move my bangs to the side.
If you can see it, please seek help. Please seek help, because questions that need answers, you need help. If you can see a ghost wig, you need help.
Follow up to the same thing about being mentally okay and not mentally stable. Clean your room when you can. Don't feel like it's an obligation. And worst case scenario, if you've got a podcast to do, put a green screen background on. Because this bitch is not clean. I'm letting you know that now.
Also, the only part that's clean is the part that you can see. No comment on that. Whatever that is, that does not exist. But this does.
We see each other. We good. All right. And with that, where can the people find you? I need you to shout yourself out. Hype yourself. Gas yourself up.
Gas myself up. Listen, my therapist told me that today, so we're going to gas ourselves up.
Let's
all right,
get it,
so
shorty.
You can find me on TikTok. Mm-hmm. I'm joshing you. I'm joshing you. IMJ0SHINGU, the letter U. You can also find me on Instagram. I'm joshing you. IMJOSHING, the letter U. Hit me up. Follow me. Like my shit. Gas me up. Affirm my existence.
If you cute, slide in the DMs. No dick pics. Keep them to yourself.
Please.
No coochie pics. No.
Please.
Keep it to yourself.
Please.
But like,
none.
Slide a
none.
compliment. Absolutely.
I don't care how pretty it is. I'm going to ignore it. Please and thank
You
you.
see, I'm evil. I'm very evil. There's several Reddit threads that are invested in.
Rate this 1 to 10.
And then
A solid
I will
6.5.
send you all of the results consistently. No.
Gang said it was a 5.5. I can't. I'm
Sorry.
Ain't gonna happen.
Put it in the
Sorry.
group chat. Send you all the screenshots.
That part.
This has been a blast. I have enjoyed having you here.
Absolutely. I am so glad to be on this. This was super fun.
I told you you could do it.
Could I though?
So you did. I mean, we've been recording for an hour and a half, and
Yo.
I mean, not an hour and a half. I lied. I cannot tell time. An hour and 5 minutes, but we've been talking for about an hour and a half.
Vibes.
Right. It's just a good conversation. That's all.
That's it. Hanging out, chilling.
Before I know it, you're gonna have your own podcast. Watch. I see it.
I mean, maybe, possibly, potentially.
We'll discuss.
I got a lot of thoughts on a lot of things, so who knows?
We'll discuss.
That part.
I'll probably have you back as a recurring guest, at least this season, especially because there are a few topics. There are a few topics that I pitched, and you're like, absolutely, run it my way.
Listen, let me speak on it. Let me speak on it real quick. If the people want it, I got thoughts. I got ideas. I got things to say.
No, I really need you to understand. When we were setting this up, Josh was legit in the email like, "Come here, little bitch. Let me tell you something."
I got thoughts on this. Oh, I got thoughts on this too.
I can talk about this.
On this, I really could talk about
What
this.
episode you call me for? All right. With that, I'm gonna tell everyone have a good insert proper greeting. Be kind to yourself. Remember to spread love, go in peace, and that karma is real. Goodbye, everybody.